You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network, the home of the Options Podcast. For more quality options programs, visit theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app available in the iTunes and Google Play stores. Select programs are also available via live stream at mixlr.com/options-insider. That's mixlr.com/options-insider. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, stocktwits.com/options, facebook.com/theoptionsinsider, or via questions at theoptionsinsider.com. The Options Insider Radio Network is sponsored by Fidelity Investments. Fidelity's Option Trade Builder tool can help you confidently build an options trade in 3 simple steps. Just choose a strategy, select a contract, and then review the benefits and risks of the trade. Learn more about Option Trade Builder at fidelity.com/options. Options trading entails significant risk and is not appropriate for all investors. Certain complex option strategies carry additional risk. Before trading options, contact Fidelity Investments by calling 800-544-5115 to receive a copy of the characteristics and risks of standardized options. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE SIPC.
Join us now for the expert source for inside information on the options markets. It's time for Options Insider Radio with your host, Mark Longo.
Welcome back to Options Insider Radio, the interview program here on the old network where we welcome on guests from throughout the world of options and derivatives and proceed to pick their brains for the benefit of you, the listeners. And next up is a recurring friend of the network. He is Nick LaMaina, the Senior Vice President of Product Management and Strategy over there at TradeStation. Well, Nick, we chatted with you guys back at OIC. We're in a little bit different locale here. By the way, listeners, if I sound a little bit different, it's because I'm coming to you from the STA Market Structure Conference here in quite scenic and sunny, unseasonably so, Washington, D.C. here. But, Nick, we talked about a lot of interesting things the last time you were on. I know you guys have been working diligently behind the scenes. Catch us up. What's been going on? What's new? What's rolling out at TradeStation since the last time you and I chatted?
Sure. So just maybe to set the table a little bit, just getting into some broad market things that we're seeing, and then I'll get into some of the more specific things that we've been working on at TradeStation. But 2019 has seen more of the same of what we've seen over the past few years, a really healthy options market. 2018 was a record in terms of the number of contracts traded in the industry. 2019 looks like it may regress a little bit, but it's probably going to be the second most active year for options in history.
2018 was a bit of an outlier year, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, but 2019 is strong. Not quite as strong as 18, but still really strong. At TradeStation, our options business continues to grow. Even in the slight regression of the overall market, we've seen our options business grow quite substantially, even from last year to this year. And we're on pace for a record year in terms of volumes for options. So all things are good as far as the environment is concerned for us and for options. We continue to have it be one of our main focuses and one of our areas of investment and what we think is going to continue to grow moving forward, and what we see from our customers as far as requests and interest in us further kind of maturing our products and giving more ways for them to analyze the market and to give them an edge.
I know obviously TradeStation comes from a core futures base. So I'm curious, would you say a lot of your options business these days is still centered on, let's say, maybe options on the S&P futures and things like that? Is that where a lot of your options business is coming from these days? Or what are the TradeStation core? What are they trading over there these days?
So I'm glad you asked that question, by the way. But as a general answer to that question, about a third of our business comes from futures, about a third of it comes from options, and about a third of it comes from equities, stocks, ETFs. So we're pretty well diversified across the asset classes as it stands right now. But this summer we made some major improvements to our futures options offering. We have a specific platform that we've had for several years called Futures Plus that we made a complete overhaul and enhancement to this summer. We rolled it out over the course of July and August through a partnership with Trading Technologies, where they enhanced their platform, adding some options capabilities, some risk management capabilities, added spend margining to it. And we've rolled that out this past summer, so it's been live now for a few months, and our customers so far really seem to like it. We've seen the number of accounts that are coming in and opening grow compared to what we were seeing before, and volumes in terms of contracts traded for futures options have really been steadily increasing. So we're really happy with it. We're happy with the partnership, and we really feel that it brings together two really strong presences in the futures space with TradeStation's FCM and Trading Technologies front end technology. So we're really pleased to see that.
Yeah, Trading Technologies, they've been working on upgrading and overhauling that options functionality for quite some time. They started talking to me about, probably 4 or 5 years ago now. So I'm glad to see that it has finally rolled out, and it's certainly making a benefit there to the TradeStation platform, it sounds like. From now, let's look ahead a little bit. Last time we talked, we chatted about some of your option functionality, in particular your Option Station Pro. I know that's for a lot of your bleeding edge options traders out there. Anything new, any interesting bells and whistles on that platform since the last time we chatted? I know you guys have been enhancing a lot of your API offerings. Is that where a lot of your focus has been of late?
So API is definitely a big focus for us. We can get to that in just a minute. But and also we continue to see usage patterns with customers increasingly migrate to web and mobile products. Even customers mixing their usage between our desktop platform and mobile products. But we still see the majority of our options customers and activity coming from Option Station Pro. Quite frankly, the latest thing that we've done with Option Station Pro is we've added what we call our option statistic panel, which makes it really easy for customers to see a number of really important things about the underlyings and the options that they're looking at, whether it be implied volatility rank, implied volatility percentile, with graphs of implied volatility at different expirations. So it really seems to be something customers were requesting things like this, and we've now provided it, and we've gotten a lot of really positive feedback so far. On the mobile side, we've added things. Probably the most recent things we've added is we've added some more statistics as it pertains to risk and reward on the options positions that you're looking to get into. And as far as the max risk and the max reward, and the ability for customers to roll their options positions and to reverse their positions in the web and mobile applications that we have. We didn't have that functionality before.
And let's talk about the APIs, because obviously that's been a big focus for you guys, and obviously for a lot of the uber bleeding edge of the option space. APIs are where a lot of them like to hang their hat. So what are you guys offering now in that space?
So we recently announced a partnership with TradingView, which is one of the leading web-based charting platforms.
We just had them on, I think about a month ago. I met those guys for the first time. Interesting fellows.
Yeah, their business is really exploding. They have at this point millions of subscribers across many assets of crypto and equities. They don't have much options functionality yet, but from what I hear, they're looking to grow that part of the business. But we recently announced a partnership with TradingView where we're going to be the first U.S. broker, and it's actually you're able to do it right now. We're the first U.S. broker where you're able to connect your TradingView charting application directly to TradeStation and place trades from their GUI, and they'll go right into TradeStation. So that integration was done with our API, and we're looking to really extend the usage of that API maybe across other partners like that as well.
Well, that makes total sense, especially for those analytical type platforms where the logical next step, right, is to hit the button. Now, I have this great setup. I would like to trade it now, please. Hit that button. It makes a lot of sense to connect it directly to a platform like yours who can actually execute it for them over there. Since the last time you and I talked, in fact, I think in the last 24 hours or so, there's been a lot of interesting developments in the brokerage space of late. Schwab making headlines yesterday on their conference call that they're going the Robinhood and everyone else route, the commission-free route. I think it was TD who announced shortly thereafter that they're going to follow suit. I'm curious. Obviously, it's been a tumultuous 24 hours in the brokerage space, but what are your thoughts on these developments and any plans over there at TradeStation to dive into those waters?
So I think that we've thought for a long time at TradeStation that it's an inevitability that you're going to see some of the more mainstream, larger brokers test the waters in that space, whether it be with a limited offering or something like that. And I think that's what we saw with the Interactive Brokers and the Schwab announcements, where I think that they were really focusing on those commission-free offers for their mobility and web products, and maybe not what they perceive to be their more premium analytics packages. I haven't had a chance to really look at what Ameritrade has announced yet, but that's, I think, what we were assuming was going to happen, that some of the larger brokers were going to dip their toe in the water with that. And I'm not able to announce anything yet, but we have certainly been planning for it, and this did not catch us off guard. And I would say stay tuned. We're probably going to be announcing something along the same lines for ourselves in the short term.
Did IB announce commission-free as well? I must have missed that one.
Yeah, they announced a IBKR Lite offering.
That's interesting, because I had Thomas Pettifree on not too long after you at the OIC conference, and he proceeded to roundly mock that side of the space and Robinhood and everything therein as being a kind of a get-what-you-pay-for type of space where you get terrible execution and everything else. Now he's going into that space. Interesting how the worm has turned in a few months there, sir. Well, at this conference last year, obviously it's an equities conference, but I'd say the lion's share of our guests last year were on the crypto side. And I know TradeStation, you guys have been teasing about the aptly named TradeStation Crypto for a while there. Any plans, anything you can tell us on that front? How are things developing there?
Well, yes, absolutely. As of today, October 2nd, TradeStation Crypto opened up our beta to external customers. So
good timing on our part then.
We are live and trading crypto for customer transactions, custodying it, and we are planning for it to go to general release and roll out to all customers later this year, hopefully starting next month and then into December. We'll have full rollout. And
is it primarily just Bitcoin, or can you do some of the altcoin there as well? Or?
Yeah, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Ethereum, Ripple is what we're going to start with.
All the top five pretty much there.
And then we're going to be adding more from there. But we're going to be giving customers the ability to add this onto their equities and options account. So you would open up an equities and options account, and then you'd be able to add on the ability to trade crypto through the TradeStation Crypto entity, and it would share your equity and buying power in your equities account to make those purchases at TradeStation Crypto, and TradeStation Crypto would make those transactions and custody those coins.
That's fantastic. I think that's one of the things the crypto space has been missing, right? We've seen a lot of players get in there that call themselves exchanges like Coinbase, but they're really, let's face it, they're really retail brokers at the end of the day, a lot of what they provide. So what we've been missing, I think, is a real brokerage experience, someone who has experience in other assets bringing that to the crypto space, particularly for a lot of the retail. I'm curious, from your perspective, what's it been like? Obviously, there's a lot of headaches that exist in the crypto space that don't exist elsewhere, like custody. You mentioned it. What's it been like dealing with all of that and getting an offering together that can have some sort of reasonable approximation of the other functionality you offer in the other asset classes on your platform?
So I think it's a great point that you bring up. I think that until this point, you've seen crypto being traded by a lot of firms that were early movers. That's where they started. So they built systems around crypto, and honestly, who knows how they architected or built those things. We come from a culture that knows about regulation in the equity space, knows about regulation in the future space, knows how to handle derivatives of all types, and we've brought a lot of those principles to that asset class as well. So while they're being transacted in the TradeStation Crypto entity, there's a lot of culture and information sharing on how we should do things that we think are going to bring stability and safety and reassurance to customers that we're doing things in a really wholesome and good way. So I think that's a real benefit. And yes, it's been an incredible learning process, I think, for many people at TradeStation. We've brought in people that were experts in the crypto space already, paired them up with people that were experts in TradeStation internal systems and the processes at TradeStation. And I think that they've done an incredible job of navigating all of the difficult things that needed to be, all the problems that needed to be solved to really bring to market a solution that is going to work for and is scalable for like the traditional brokerage type space.
And Nick, we're obviously down here at the Market Structure Conference. What is it that brings you to DC? Obviously, aside from chatting with me, of course.
Well, I think this conference is always great. Gives me an opportunity to attend some industry meetings, get caught up on different regulatory issues and what's happening. The exchanges are here to share what their plans are as far as the coming year. I just before I came here, I finished up. I'm a member of the STA Retail Advisory Committee. We meet several times a year. We always meet at STA and talked about several industry issues that it's not competitive. It's that us as representatives from all of the different retail brokerage players in the industry, we have similar concerns in trying to advocate for what we think retail customers would prefer in terms of regulation and in terms of how market structure should kind of evolve over time.
Well, Nick, we squeezed a lot into a few minutes here. We talked options on futures, we talked APIs, even talked a little bit of crypto and some market structure. But that said, if there's anything you wanted to squeeze in there before we wrap up, or maybe you want to leave our audience with a little bit of a hint. Obviously, you got the crypto, but you want to leave our audience with a little bit of a hint, a little bit of a tease of what they can expect from you guys in the coming months. Now is the time, sir. The floor is yours.
Yeah, just as I already mentioned, I think you're going to be seeing more things with crypto coming to light. You're probably going to be hearing from us in terms of what we plan to do, maybe more with API partners and on the front of commission-free trading. We had a promotion earlier this year for several months where we were offering commission-free trading to customers if they opened up an account, and we saw an amazing uplift in account openings. And it gave us an opportunity to see what type of customers we would get if we put some sort of a permanent offering out there. So expect to see more on that. And one last thing that we didn't cover is just recently we closed on acquiring an educational company called You Can Trade. So we're in the process of relaunching that You Can Trade platform, which is an educational platform where coaches will be able to come in and help customers understand how to not just how to use our platform, but how to trade in the markets. So it's going to be a multi-channel, multi-coach environment that we're planning to relaunch within the next month. And then after that, we're planning many, many more enhancements where we're going to grow that You Can Trade educational offering into more of a community space where people can come, and there's going to be a really fertile ecosystem to come to get trading ideas, to get continuing education, hand-holding, whatever you like to get, reassurances from the community that what you're doing is valid and normal and has worth, and to constantly be tweaking what you're doing, because if you're not improving, you're really regressing. So we're really excited about that and what all of those things together in terms of opening up the pipeline with partners and really bolstering our education, expanding our asset classes, and what all those things together are really going to do for TradeStation moving forward. Well,
Nick, I'm glad we can get you on, and we'll look forward to seeing how crypto and all these other initiatives, how they all unfold in the marketplace in the coming months.
You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network, the home of the Options Podcast. For more quality options programs, visit theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app available in the iTunes and Google Play stores. Select programs are also available via live stream at mixlr.com/options-insider. That's mixlr.com/options-insider. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, stocktwits.com/options, facebook.com/theoptionsinsider, or via questions at theoptionsinsider.com. The Options Insider Radio Network is sponsored by Fidelity Investments. At Fidelity, you'll always get a great value for your options trades. And with powerful investing tools that provide clear next steps, plus independent research and a wide range of investment types, we can help you make better trading decisions. Learn more about options trading with Fidelity at fidelity.com/options. Options trading entails significant risk and is not appropriate for all investors. Certain complex option strategies carry additional risk. Before trading options, contact Fidelity Investments by calling 800-544-5115 to receive a copy of the characteristics and risks of standardized options. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE SIPC.